Yes, we can hear you. You hear me clearly. Go spit the damn truth. Now do you feel me? You know we feel you. So I'ma spit the damn truth till I'm through. Yes, we can hear you. You hear me clearly.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, man. That loss, that's hit me in my heart. It's hit me in my heart tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get the stuff off our chest because I know there's a lot of stuff that we got to get off our chest, Cowboys Nation. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Did y'all expect this tonight? Did y'all expect this results? We're going to get some people to get up in here and we're going to talk about it. Like I said in the thumbnail, let's talk. Let's talk, Cowboy Nation. Damn. Pardon my disappointment. But there are things that we could take away from this. And we're going to discuss that too. Yeah. Wow. So forgive me ahead of time if I'm talking kind of slow, because I'm still registering this loss. It had implications. This was a huge game. Man. Man. Yeah. Let's go ahead, man. Let's go ahead and get this started. Y'all ready? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Yo, what's going on, Cowboy Nation? It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan, here on YouTube, the place where you can catch my raw and uncut emotions about the Dallas Cowboys 24/7, 365. And as long as I'm alive, y'all know what it is. It's DC for life. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's even DC for life in a loss. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's when it needs to be DC for life even more. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be DC for life, what we can get from this game. Man. It was a nail biter, ladies and gentlemen. It was a nail biter. It was a slobber knocker, like I said in my video that I released earlier today. But unlike the video that I said, I had a prediction and the prediction was wrong. We lost. We lost a tight one too, and it came down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. It came down to the fact of we were right there on the 3-4 yard line. Oh my goodness. Right in striking distance with time. And we did not take advantage. We shot ourselves in the foot yet again. Yet again. One thing that I said in my last video that I didn't want to see the undisciplinedness, shooting ourselves in the foot, and that's what messed up the game. The false start. The sack. You can't get sacked in a situation like that. Dak, you know that. Even if you're throwing it to like the back pylon or something, if you're throwing a fade route to whoever's on that side of the field, throw it over their head, shoot it in the stands, but don't take the sack. Man, let me take a sip of coffee, boy. Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, man? I seen the implications that this game had. We could have taken control of the NFC, and we didn't. We fell short. We fell pretty much 20 yards short. That was a pretty dope catch by CeeDee Lamb at the end of it, and y'all can't take that from him. But also, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with Michael Gallup? What is going on with Michael Gallup? This is ridiculous. That man had a clear catch on the ball. He had two hands on the ball. One thing that they teach you from Pop Warner, don't catch with your chest. And that's what he did. Boop, pop right out. Pop right out. Like Gallup. At that point in the game, I was telling Mike McCarthy, I'm like, sit Gallup. Sit Gallup. If he can't get it done, put him on the bench and put Tolbert in. And y'all see, Tolbert got one. But see, Freeman, he was just thinking about Gallup. Yo, salute to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to everybody that's watching this live. Yo, I'm trying to calm down because my anxiety through that whole thing, it was through the roof. Nisha said, Gallup got to go. You ain't ever lying. You ain't ever lying, man. This man has not showed up the entire season. I don't know what's going on. It's like, and I hate to sound cliche about it, but it's really like he hasn't shown up since the injury. And I know that's a talking point and all the talking heads be saying that stuff. But it's true. Ever since that injury, Michael Gallup has not been the same. You know, he does get his sideline toe tap catches. See, he's like, yep, Gallup was on the sidelines in crunch time. Yes, he used to be that. He used to be automatic. You could go to Gallup on the sidelines when Amari Cooper... Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, I placed in the community tab, I placed a question, which one was the better number one receiver, Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb. And, it's getting real busy over there because, you got some people that say CeeDee Lamb and some say Amari Cooper. But when Amari Cooper was here, and it was Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup was automatic. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't. The angry Cowboy fan in me is wanting to rage out. And the first place that I want to rage out, I don't want to rage out to because it's going to sound so stereotypical and you can be like, especially the clowns and the haters going to be like, y'all blaming the refs, but my God. And then they tried to show a graphic at the end of the game like, the Eagles had this many, they had more, more yardage tacked onto them. Like, nah, we ain't trying to hear that. There's a difference between a penalty and then a penalty at a crucial point. Like, oh man. So there's some positives that also come from this game too. I'm trying, I don't want to harp on the negative and how I feel, but there are some positives. So let's go over the positives real quick. I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna pull up. We're gonna pull up ESPN real quick. Take a look at the stats because, there has to be some positivity in this. Lost by 5 points. We was in striking distance. We were right there at the goal line, and honestly, the refs being against us in the first half, they had to put us in a position, and we went that entire length of the field with, Dak Prescott showing off as well as penalties. But at the same time, boom, that pivotal third quarter right there, that pivotal third quarter, that is when we lost control. That is when we lost control. And you can look at the fourth quarter right there. We only scored 6 points. Like we needed when Dak Prescott threw it to the tight end and he was like inches short of a touchdown. Like we needed that score. Like that was the one that we needed. But we were able to march back down. We still have some red zone issues that we got to take care of, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go ahead and go to the full box. Is that still showing up on the screen, ladies and gentlemen? It better be. All right, it is. Oh, I got to get that Xfinity stuff off there. They are not sponsors, just to let you know. Whoa, what is that? Uh-oh.
Hates being stuck inside.
Oh, I know, Rufus. All right. So, we look at Dak Prescott. 29 for 44, 374, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a passer rating of 115.2. Like, y'all, for all the Dak haters out there, I know we didn't win this game, but your quarterback performed. He did what he had to do. He went out there and showed out. 374 yards. That I have no questions about my quarterback. Man, you shouldn't either. But questions that I do have, like, what's going on the offensive line, y'all? What's going on the offensive line? Because I don't understand. It's crazy to me. Terrence Steele, even Zach Martin let some people come in on that side and get Dak Prescott. Like, what? I'm so in my bag. I know I had a person that said that I should go live, for a reaction after the games. But guys, on some realness, I be close. I be close to wanting to, during a game like this, throwing my TV out the door. So, but yeah, D'Angelo Brown. Yeah, you're right. It was like a playoff game. It was a playoff feel. The atmosphere was such a playoff feel, and I went into this game because the implications. Let's say if Philadelphia lost, we would be in control of the NFC East. While they went on their bye, we would go on to our next game, and I want to say it's the New York Giants. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I kind of don't want to move off this, but we'll go to the schedule. Let's go to week 10. Boom. Yeah, we face the New York Giants, and they're in Jerry's world. So, ladies and gentlemen, and the talking heads, they're going to, the New York Giants come to town and, they get to get some get back and get to beat up on a weaker opponent, so on and so forth. Yes, we get to get our confidence back. That's what these games are all about. Like the game against the New York Giants that's coming up, that's a confidence booster. You feel me? So we do got to get a little bit of get back. And this was a playoff game. And I'm glad they didn't go into the media talking that stuff, though, like saying this was the litmus test, because I'm kind of against that. I'm truly against that because, don't measure it at, let's say week 5 of the NFL season. Don't put your measure right there. Like, the sky's the limit. The limit is a Lombardi trophy. That's where you want to put your, put your thoughts. But let's see. Okay, Nicholas Torres, really enjoy your content. You have some solid takes. Keep up the good work. Like, bro, it's really new to me. This is really new to me. But what isn't new to me is my love for the Dallas Cowboys and what they do, how they play, how they persevere, how they represent. That's why I do what I do. You guys too. Y'all coming by, watching the videos and commenting, and I get to interact with other like-minded Cowboys fans. This is why I do it, and it brings me peace in a time where the Cowboys didn't pull it through. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you definitely stopping by the live. Yes. Freeneyman 619. Salute. Yeah, salute 100. But Cowboys versus the refs, D'Angelo Brown. Man, see, I didn't want to go there. But that first half, and then like some in the third, I'm like, what? Come on. Like, at this point, I'm looking for the ref. Like, when we get a positive gain, I'm like, no flag. We ain't got a flag, right? When we got that touchdown, I'm like, no flags. It's a shame that you have to look at a game and be like, oh, no flags. You're expecting the refs to be like, they're going to be against us. Somebody said that before we even went into the game. I was actually in a live at Law Nation, and they said pretty much look out for the refs. And I'm like, I hope not. Like, don't be like that. Like, let these men play their game. Don't let the cause of the ref dictate or persuade the game in any way. And sometimes it becomes blatantly obvious. I actually watched a YouTube video on it the other day as well. It becomes blatantly obvious when the refs have too much hand in the dough. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, it really felt like Cowboys versus the refs. But one thing that this shows, and this also sounds cliche as well, but, he can bleed. And if you can bleed, then you know what happens after that. The Eagles can bleed. We can hang with the Philadelphia Eagles. 5 points. I know it's a loss, but 5 points. That's it. We can hang with the Eagles. So this shouldn't discourage us. Like I said, I get in my bag, I get in my feelings, but it shouldn't discourage us from our goal. And I know a lot of Cowboys fans don't think we're going to reach that goal with Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott wasn't the problem. He wasn't the problem. Drops by Michael Gallup and Tony Pollard was the problem. The refs officiating was the problem. Man. But a touchdown. All right, let's see. Jason Latham. A touchdown at the end of the first half. And yes, the touchdown at the half, if it would have been a different. We settled for a field goal, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at the. See, that's why I didn't want to move off this page. Lord have mercy. There we go. Yeah, we settled for 3. Wasn't it a 4th and 8 situation where we going into the half and we just settled for 3? All right. Oh Lord. Sorry, guys. Yes, please, ESPN. Just rub it in my face. Yeah, at the end of the second quarter, boom, we got a touchdown. Where was it where we made the 17-14 right here, the field goal right here. And then they got a punt, and it was the end of the half. 4th and 1. Where's the field goal? Boom. Prescott sacked. Like, that's another thing. That's one thing why I kind of got angry about the trade deadline, because look at our line. At one point, we were the number one line in the NFL. Now, we really can't stop a nosebleed. We can't stop anybody from coming in. And I don't know, like Terrence Steele, that's another person that hasn't been the same since they've come back from the injury. It has like lost a step. So, and Tyron Smith, you can't tell when he's going to be in, when he's going to be out, when it's going to be Chuma Doga, when it's going to be him, when Tyler Smith's going to have to go to left tackle instead of left guard. You just don't know. And, man, see, I'm looking for that. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Man, we went into this game. We knew the implications because the Eagles have a bye this next week, so we can even out the standings. If we would have given them a loss, then they have the harsh schedule that they got to go through. Like, we could have been up at the top of the NFC East, but we just didn't pull it through. You know, Dak just didn't. And see, and I can't even put it on Dak. Here we go, here we go. We got Fremont, 619, and Nisi. You know, I was just thinking about Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup has got to go. Like, something does have to happen with Michael Gallup. For real. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Michael Gallup, we've talked about it. He is... God, I'm in my feelings. I'm trying to not get into my feelings and actually talk about the game, but Michael Gallup, that crucial catch across the middle of the field, and he just drops it. Like, also, at the end of the game, not really putting the ball in the hands of your playmaker. You know, CeeDee Lamb got mad and said, "Give me the ball for a reason." When it's something like that, like let's say in the NBA, if it's something like that, and you got 5 seconds, 3 seconds left on the clock, do you want to, like Golden State Warriors, do you want to get the ball to Draymond Green, or do you want to get the ball to Stephen Curry? I would rather much get the ball to Stephen Curry. Why not get the ball to CeeDee Lamb? Why not get him into space? Maybe throw a fade, but at that time, we got the penalty from Tyler Smith that drove us back. Like, that's what I meant in my last video about shooting ourselves in the foot. We were in prime real estate. We were in a prime position to shock the world and win that game. And we shot ourselves in the foot, brought us back. We collapsed on the right side of the line and got Dak sacked. Like, we should not have been that far down the field away from the end zone to have to throw a strike like that. It should have been a jump ball with CeeDee Lamb and someone else on their defense. But I'm going to keep reading y'all comments because your comments is keeping me on track. It's keeping me sane from going into my bag, and I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Gallup was on the sideline in crunch time. Unfortunately, he needed to be. He needed to be on the sidelines during crunch time because he doesn't show up when it's not. When it's in the first quarter and you throw a pass to him and he bobbles it and drops it, or he knocks it and gets it intercepted. Like, Gallup. And real quick, this was another take that I got from it. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Jordan Lewis. Holy crap, Jordan Lewis. Why you keep getting burnt, bruh? Like, that shallow cross across the middle, you keep getting burnt, dude. I was actually going to do a video about this, and I think I will still do that video because you guys deserve the best content, you know. So I was going to do, my brother and I were talking, and we were talking about Stephon Gilmore. We were talking about Gilly Rock, and for ish and giggles, I was like, let me check out Gilmore's contract, see when his contract is up. So I looked, and the offseason of 2024, Gilmore is a restricted free agent. It's like, man, I don't want the Cowboys to lose Gilly Rock. You know what I'm saying? So I looked to see, like, all right, Gilly Rock's contract's up. Let's see about Jordan Lewis. Because, for a couple of years, I've been like, Jordan Lewis is not it. He is not it. But I looked up Jordan Lewis, and wouldn't you know, his contract is up in the 2024 offseason. And I'm like, oh, man, so that presents a problem, because whenever you have an injury, you have the next man up. And the next man up being Deron Bland. And Deron Bland doing his thing out there, exceeding expectation. That's going to go into Jerry Jones in the Jones' minds, like, we can get rid of somebody. And with those two guys being up in 2024, which one will it be? Will it be Stephon Gilmore or Jordan Lewis? And I actually want to pose that question to you guys. Which one would you guys rather stay with the team, and who would you rather see let go? Stephon Gilmore, who's up there in age. I think he's like 32, 33 years old. And, don't quote me on that. But, and I think Jordan Lewis is like 26, 27. So you got the age and experience, but you have the youth. Which one would you guys prefer? Let me know in the comment section, because like I said, that really got my brain going. Like, what is the Cowboys defense going to look like next year? And I hate to look at next year, but I'm that type of person that, I look ahead. So I'm looking at next year's defense with Demarion Overshown coming back, with Trayvon Diggs coming back, and just the whole crew is back. It's going to be a different vibe, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a different vibe. Mark my words. And like I said, I hate to look to the future, but next year's defense is going to be on and popping. Oh, my God. But anyway, let's see, Nicholas Torres. The only thing I've noticed, let's see, these lights be getting super bright, but I'm going to try and take my glasses off. One thing that I've noticed is that regardless of how bad a person plays, the team won't bench them if they're getting paid. I feel like Rico should be number one running back and put Pollard at, ooh-wee. Rico Dowdle. Yeah, Rico Dowdle from my hometown. Went to my middle and high school. Man, shout out. But anyway, yeah, Rico Dowdle, I feel, is the more complete back, and that may be, an unpopular opinion, but I think he can run between the tackles well. He can get his stretch plays. He's good out of the backfield, even as a receiver. He's a good asset out of the backfield. And I believe that Tony Pollard had his power, just like CeeDee Lamb is trying to strafe away from. Like, people saying that when Amari Cooper was there, CeeDee Lamb was on top of his game. Well, when Zeke was in Dallas, taking those A-gap, B-gap, taking those gap shots and letting Pollard finesse and run his stretch plays, that's when Pollard was at his best. Because I feel personally that teams really didn't scheme for Pollard more as they schemed for Zeke. And when Pollard got in the game, it was some new flavor. So, yeah. Let's see. Cowboy Nation, keep your head up. We're still 5-3. And the upcoming games and split with the Eagles. Eagles have a tough schedule ahead after their bye week. Yeah, D'Angelo Brown, man, 100% right. They have the gauntlet. And let's see if I can look this up real quick. They have a gauntlet ahead of them. Oh, yeah, and speaking of which, give a shout out to my nephew, Rel. He is a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan, and oh, man. He was like, don't let no Cowboy talk to me right now. I was like, dude, man, you only won by 5 points. It was a hard-fought game. Don't sit there and act like y'all blew us out. But at the same time, he can't stand the Cowboys because of the delusional Cowboys fans saying that we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. Anyhow, shout out, Rel. You got this one. You got this one in Philly. You won't get the one in Dallas. But anyway, the Philadelphia Eagles schedule goes like this. After the bye week, Kansas City Chiefs. Bam. That could be a loss. It's, a repeat of the Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills next. But, it's in Lincoln Financial. That game can kind of go either way. It really depends on how Josh Allen plays. Then you have the San Francisco 49ers in Lincoln Financial. I mean, the way Philadelphia Eagles did them last year, I can't say that's a sure win. And then you see us back at Jerry World. And then you see the Seahawks. So out of those 5 games, you could have 2-3 L's. And be right back there down with us. But what we got to do is we have to do our due diligence and, come out with wins. Because obviously we are past our bye. So these lights bright. Woo. So now the games that we have are the New York Giants, the Carolina Panthers. Shout out, Rick. I mean, I know I'm trying to convert my brother from a Carolina Panthers fan to a Dallas Cowboy fan because I tell him his team sucks. But anyhow, we got the Commanders, and then our schedule gets rough. It gets rough, Seattle, the Eagles again, and then the Bills. So we have to be on top of our game. For real. We can't really worry about the Eagles. I mean, shit. Sorry. Didn't mean to swear. But shoot. I don't want to give the Eagles that type of credit, that type of attention. You know what I'm saying? Because they already think that we eat, sleep, and drink hating the Eagles like they do the Cowboys. I'm here to tell them. I'm like, we don't think of you guys like that. We don't think of you guys like that at all. But, all right, let's go. Nisi says, refs have helped them. Oh, man. I don't want to get on my bag. I don't want to get in my bag when it comes to the refs, but the refs make it look weird. You know what I'm saying? The refs make it look super weird. Like, don't make it look obvious like you are actually calling these penalties for this team so that a different outcome happens. Like, don't make it super obvious if that's what you're doing, dog. Like, man, I know, like, if you read between the lines that, people have said this in, like, Facebook NFL groups, like, oh, they're under the sports entertainment umbrella. I'm like, oh, God, so is the WWE. Please don't tell me these outcomes are scripted. But, I pray that it's not. I have faith that it's above water. But just the blatant calls, I question that. Like, okay, let's take this, for instance, in the game. Do you remember when Nick Sirianni threw the challenge flag whenever we did the brotherly shove or the tush push or whatever? You remember when Nick Sirianni threw that challenge flag? How did he get to do that? Didn't we run a play afterwards? How did he get to challenge? But I do think, was it something like, and y'all let me know in the comment section, was it something like I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to justify in my head how that could have been a call. But from what I'm taking, maybe if they would have challenged it and Dak would have been down, it would have been a turnover on downs, and they could have assessed the penalty, being half the distance to the goal on their possession. Please, somebody let me know, because I am confused when it came to that whole challenge from Nick Sirianni. All right, we're going to go back to some comments. We always bounce back on a loss, D'Angelo Brown. We do. We always bounce back. And usually when we lose, we always bounce back with a vengeance. We always bounce back to where it makes Cowboy Nation perk up. Like, oh, shoot. Okay. We like that. We just beat this team 40-0 or, something like that. And it gets our spirits up. It gets our hopes up. Like, yeah, we can do this. We finally clicking. And, guys, I can't stress this enough. The offense, other than Michael Gallup, some drop passes, there are always plays. Whenever you play football, there's always plays at the end of the game that you leave out on the field that you wish you coulda, woulda, shoulda, But for the most part, we did good as an offense. Our offensive line can be much better, but we did good. Dak Prescott did amazing. No picks. Kept the ball secure. That's all you can ask from your quarterback. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the narrative is with the talking heads when it comes to, the Dallas Cowboys. Because I remember one of them saying, like, if they lose, within a touchdown to, 3-4 points, we lost by 5. I want to see your energy. And one thing that I'm going to have to do, Cowboys Nation, I do call out the 4-letter and 3-letter networks. I do call them out like, I got to hold y'all accountable. If y'all going to hold my quarterback accountable, I got to hold y'all accountable. But I also got to give credit where credit is due. I've been seeing some analysts take up, for the Cowboys, go to bat for the Cowboys. And some of it can be disingenuous, like, I don't know how to take Emmanuel Acho. I think he may be a little disingenuous with it. I think he knows the angle of, all right, if they're going to dog the Cowboys, then I'll take up for the Cowboys. I'll be the superhero. And, and America will see that. I don't know if this stuff is genuine. But anyway, let's get to some more comments. Box keep popping up. Get out of here. All right. That play, Cooks was wide open. There are plays that they're going to look at. They're going to assess this. I don't know about tomorrow. I really, I don't get into the Cowboys schedule like that. But I believe that they're going to look at this film and they're going to see a lot of the times that, Ferguson was wide open. Cooks was wide open, but you can't really ask too much. They didn't really get Cooks involved like I really wanted them to. They could have gotten Cooks involved a lot more into that offensive scheme, but right now I believe it's more they're in the business of feeding CeeDee Lamb. That was a priority. CeeDee Lamb with 11 receptions tonight for 191 yards. 191 yards. And also, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this a buck. I know we lost, but, and I hate to say it like this, but one thing that you could take from this, let's look at it. One thing that you could take from this, the Dallas Cowboys stopped A.J. Brown's streak. He had 7 receptions for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. That streak is done. We have proven that we can handle A.J. Brown. We have proven that we can give the Philadelphia Eagles fits. We have proven that it bleeds. And if it can bleed, y'all know the rest. I ain't gonna say it. I'm trying to get monetized, But anyhow, we did a good job. We just didn't finish the job. Our quarterback looked great. Our running game wasn't all that hot. 12 carries for 51 yards. Tony Pollard. Tony, I don't think, and I may be mistaken, I'm not really looking at the stats like that, but I don't think Tony Pollard's had a game over 100 yards this season. And we were harping last year when Zeke was here getting those 2.5, 3 yards. We were harping like he ain't having a breakout year. He's only getting 2-3 yards in a cloud of dust. Those are those 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust that we don't have anymore, and now we can't get in the end zone. How do y'all feel about getting rid of Zeke? All right, let's see. We need to shake this loss off as a lost opportunity and build on this. That's what I mean, man. That's what I mean. We got to build on it. You can't sit there and just dwell on the loss. I'm so glad that they didn't dwell on the loss to the 49ers, that they just, all right, we got our butts kicked. Now let's move on. That is the philosophy. Y'all got to take this, see what you did wrong, because there were some things that were not right. There were some things that were not right in this game that you guys got to take care of. One thing that I harped on was discipline. Discipline on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. I did not see that. You're letting your quarterback get hit. He got one of those sacks late in the game. He got body slammed. Then Dak, I'm going to get on you. I'm representing you right now, but I'm going to get on you. Why you diving and going head over feet? What is going on with that? I know that the organization, Cowboys Nation, is like, Dak, you need to be more mobile. You need to be mobile. I would rather you lower your head and try to run through somebody as opposed to doing what you did tonight. I mean, I know I ain't your daddy or anything like that, but wow. For a minute there, I think my heart stopped. Like, oh gosh, our quarterback, is he okay? He popped up like, man, that dude's a warrior. And that's one thing that Cowboys Nation has to see, that this man is a warrior. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that don't agree with Dak, that they say he's middle of the pack Dak and all that stuff, but he's a warrior. And like on and off the field, the things that he goes through mentally, the things in his life, as well as being America's team's quarterback. Like, y'all, I was thinking about that the other day, and I'm like, that has to weigh on that person. I was talking to my brother, me playing semi-pro football, and I'm like, man, I could only imagine being the quarterback to America's team and having to deal with the haters, the naysayers in your own fan base. Man, being in these Facebook fan groups for the Dallas Cowboys, it's enough to make you see a therapist, bruh. I tell you, they be in there dogging and degrading Dak, and it's not just like Eagles fans or 49ers fans. It's Cowboy fans alike. One of the main reasons why I made this page. But let's continue with some comments. All right. Dak haters tomorrow. Look at the segue right there. Dak haters tomorrow will be Joy McCoy and Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. They better not have nothing bad to say about Dak. They better not have nothing bad to say about Dak. Oh, man, I know I'm sounding like an angry parent right now, but they can't have anything bad to say about Dak. That man showed his butt off tonight. Whether it was getting yards with your legs. For the first of the game, it was Dak getting us down the field. He was the one that was running. Like, man, I was shocked. I'm like, we can't get open? I mean, is Dak going to run the whole field for us? Like, so there can't be anything that, I mean, there could be some things that they nitpick about. You know, you can't take the content away from them, you know. They got to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. That's their bread and butter. But there ain't no way on God's green earth that they could say that this was a bad performance. He outplayed Jalen Hurts tonight. What won it for him was their defense. That is what won the game. I know that the defense didn't score any points, but the defense, the kicking team, gave them short fields, set them up to score points. And when the chips was all on the table at the end, and I'm having a complex because I'm sounding like a Philly fan, but I'm not. I swear to God, it's DC for life. And even Philly, the word Philly fan coming out of my mouth sounds gross. But being a objective Dallas Cowboy fan, their defense stood up at the end of the game. And we just couldn't overcome that. But, like I said, we can't leave this with any negativity. This is the first game. My brother asked me the question. He was like, you know, we were talking about the game, and I think it was Friday. And he asked me the question, like, would you rather lose to lose on Sunday and win in Dallas, or would you rather win here today and then lose later on? I was like, I'd rather lose in Philly. I'd rather lose this game. I wouldn't rather lose a game, period. But you got to be optimistic. That's the part that's on the application to being a Cowboys fan. You got to be optimistic, you know. So I was like, I would rather lose this game, because when we meet them again in December, I believe, we could be a team that just, because it's going to be a physical game with Kansas City. You know, it's going to be a physical game with the 49ers. And y'all seen Jalen Hurts tonight. And that's one thing I don't do. As an ex-player, you know, I don't like when players get injured. You know, the NFL is their bread and butter. That's how they get their bread. And I hate when a player gets injured. So I don't care what team it is. Like, when Jalen Hurts laid there, I was like, oh, no. You got to get up, because at the end of the day, if they would have taken him out of the game, then it would have been like, oh, you guys only beat him because he went down and they had to bring in their backup. So I want their number one team. I want all number ones that are on their team on the field at the same time. So there's no excuses. You know, so when he went down, there was some more players that went down, and I sent stuff over Facebook like, oh man, praying for them, hope they get up. You had Philly fans that were kind of shocked that I said that. Like, dang, word? They throwing hearts on my stuff like, word, you care? Like, yeah, us Cowboy fans, we got class. We got class. We actually care about the other guys that get hurt. You know, y'all may be rooting for somebody to get, oh man, I hope they hurt Dak. Nah, man, it ain't about that. It ain't that serious. It may be serious for some people, but it ain't that serious for me. I wish these guys well wishes, and I'm glad that Hurts and everybody was able to come back. Fletcher Cox went down at one point. But anyhow, let's see, yeah, but like you said, D'Angelo, like, they better not have nothing bad to say, because there's nothing bad to be said about Dak Prescott's performance. JB the Cowboy fan. Parsons is a fraud. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with that? That Micah Parsons is a fraud? Dang, I want to look up Micah Parsons' stats just to see what he had. Because that's a bold statement. Micah Parsons is a fraud, but the thing is, Micah Parsons comes through. He may not come through all the time, and that's one thing that gets me too. Like, as Cowboy Nation, do we expect the Dallas Cowboys to win every single game? No, we don't. It's how you lose and how you take that loss that's gonna mold you for the future to be able to do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to look up Micah Parsons' stats for the night, and the internet is being weird. Boom, against the Eagles this game. He had 1.5 sacks, 5 solo tackles. I mean, 9 tackles together. You know, it's they kind of took him out of the game. You know, is that what you want me to say? I'll agree with you. They kind of took him out of the game, but when Micah Parsons is out of the game, what he needs to learn how to be is a factor even being taken out of the game. You know, if you're taken out of the game, then that's going to take their offensive line and free up someone like Osa Odighizuwa. You know, or during a run, have Mozzie Smith breaking through the line and getting the tackle for loss because they're dealing with Micah Parsons. I truly don't believe that he is a fraud. I mean, does he need to stay up? Let me stop. Parsons is not a fraud, but he needs to learn how to be a factor without being a factor. If that makes any sense to y'all, and it makes sense in my head. But boom. Yep, Giants are next. Thank you, Nisi. All right, here you go. O-line has to be better in the crew. Yes, you are not lying. O-line has to be better. They have to be better. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, your quarterback should not be on his back with under 15 minutes to go. That's when you step up. That's when you reach down in your toes and get any type of energy that you have left for this game and stay 10 toes down in that turf. You do not let anybody touch your quarterback. Man, I was a tight end when I played, so that was the philosophy. If I'm not going out for a pass, nobody touches my quarterback. And Terrence still let it down. There's only so much that Zach Martin can do when you have, and I'm going to call it, the weak link right there. Like, what is it? Did he lose a step after the injury? Is it something that can be regained? If it's not, can it be something that can be taught, like, you know, scheme-wise, to help him keep our quarterback upright? That's all we ask. Stop the defenders. Terrence Steele. God, I'm getting in my bag again. All right. Parsons was being held constantly. The NFL doesn't like him, perhaps because of his see, that is one of the downfalls to having a podcast. And when you want to talk about everything, Micah Parsons having a podcast, I could care less. I like The Edge, Bleacher Report. I listen to it. I like his takes, but there's some takes that I just don't like, that I think he should strafe away from, that he should stay away from. Give an opinion about an upcoming opponent. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please stay away from that. You know, if you wanna highlight your brothers in the NFL, by all means do so. If Tyreek Hill has a great game, yes, comment on it. But when you make a top 5, and I know he purposely, you know, after going back and watching the video, he purposely left the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs out. But the praises that you were giving Philadelphia, now it's like they can look at you like, yeah, you knew what was going to happen today. Like, just stay away from that. But yeah, the NFL could, because the NFL knows like with the sponsorships and the partnerships from ESPN and FS1 and all the sports networks, they know that's revenue. And you messing with our bottom line at the end of the day. This is how those talking heads get their money. And he done threw a monkey wrench in it. You know, channels like me, you know, I'm under 2,000 subscribers. They don't look at me. They don't care about my opinion. But, you know, when you got the guys out there, you know, in the words of Law Nation, doing the Lord's work, and they have a bigger platform such as Law Nation, people start to look. People start to see that it ain't just the players that have this gripe. The players see it, their fan base sees it, other co-hosts are starting to see it now, and it's gonna mess with their bottom line. So it's like, all right, we gotta figure something out. But I think, yeah, you're right. Parsons being, you know, he was being held constantly, and they're just gonna turn a blind eye because it's kind of like Cam Newton. When Cam Newton complained about it, you know, they didn't care, him or Ben Roethlisberger. But when Tom Brady complained about it, there was new rules implemented. You know, all right, Jason Latham, I think this game was a confidence booster, even in a loss. That's what I'm talking about. You can't leave a loss beating yourself up. You can't leave a loss talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. Everything you leave out on that field. You leave out on the field. You go back and assess how you played. Don't get it twisted. You know, you can't just be like, whoop, on to the next one. No, you got to go back and assess how you played. Assess our weaknesses. Jordan Lewis. And see how you can make them a strength. Like Dak Prescott gonna look at this game like, okay, I seen Brandon Cooks right there, wide open. So I kind of know that can be a possibility, because I truly believe that what Dak Prescott does, and I've seen this in his progressions, is that he cuts off anything that's behind him. Anything that's behind him, he don't see. You usually have a progression of 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, but he comes out just like that. So he's cutting off that peripheral. He can't see behind him. But I did, just like you, Jason. I left this game with some confidence, with the fact that we can hang. Like, it was 5 points. We can hang with the Philadelphia Eagles. We didn't go in there and get blown out like we did with the 49ers. We were still trying to figure things out, and I think we're still trying to figure things out. We're putting it into motion a lot more, but we're still trying to figure things out. And one of the things that we need to figure out is right tackle. We need to figure out why is our right tackle and our left tackle that's questionable. And people would argue that our center, Tyler Biadasz, is questionable. Our whole line is compromised. They can't make running lanes. They can't block for Tony Pollard, and he's getting hit in the backfield, 3-yard loss. We do a boot play action, and you got a lineman right there in Dak's face. Why is the protection breaking down so much? I hope this is something that they actually look into during this week's, walkthroughs and practices. Like, figure out what is going on with our offensive line, because y'all got to show up. That's the number one thing that I say, that when I want to see the Dallas Cowboys do in this upcoming game, that's one of the main things that I talk about. The battle starts in the trenches. And I ain't lying. Being an ex-player, I know that games are won and lost in the trenches. It was the trenches. Was that Schoonmaker that had that was that close to that touchdown? Was that Schoonmaker? Because it was the defense. inches, stopped them, held them up. But I do have confidence. I hate the fact that we lost, but I have left this game with a boost of confidence for the future. And one thing that people need to get over, I know, and people say that it's, the talking heads say that it's Super Bowl or bust for the Dallas Cowboys. If it ain't always Super Bowl or bust for a fan, then why are you a fan? We always aspire to want to get to the Super Bowl. That is the number one goal. No team in the NFL comes into the season talking about, I think we're going to be pretty good. We might not make it to the playoffs, but we're going to be pretty good. No team does that. They all come in with some confidence. But see, I'm all on this confidence kick. See, all right, Nisi. I'm saying, right, Micah got choked and no flag. Mike, always, you can go back and look at the replays. You can go back and look at those and see every time that Micah's getting pulled here by the shoulder pad. It's like it finally took him to throw his hands up like, yo, what is going on? And my nephew said, like, yeah, we get to see y'all in December. We coming down to y'all house and, taking care of business. I was like, well, leave your refs at home, with the cat. Leave your refs at home with the cat, because a ref should not dictate the game the way it happened tonight. Them refs dictated. They called stuff in crucial times. They called things for Philadelphia that when it happened to Dallas, they just ignored. And it was blatantly obvious. Man, if I have to look at that, look at the replay of the game, take out the clips, I should. Y'all let me know if I should. That'd be a lot of work, but it's all for the good. It's all for the good. Aegon. Oh, I missed one. No, I didn't. Cowboy fan said, Podcast Parsons overrated as F. I completely respect that. I respect your opinion. I respect that. I do. But we can agree to disagree as Cowboy fans. I think he's not overrated. He just needs to, like I said, be a factor even when you can't be a factor. Aegon says the better quarterback lost today. Truly did. The better quarterback lost today, and it's a shame. I mean, I know it's not a shame for the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's a shame for Cowboys Nation. Dak showed his butt today. I'm not trying to be nasty, but Dak did the thing today. Man, trying to get back in his stats. Where he at? Come on, Dak. Oh, Lord. The phone ringing. Hey, show me the stats. Boom, 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 boom. 29 completions, 44 attempts. Completion percentage, 65.9. 375 yards. An average of 8.5 yards a game. 3 touchdowns. 0 interceptions. 0. One of the things that the talking heads always griped about. 0. Man. I love our quarterback. He did such a great job. The better quarterback lost today. That's right. All right. Defense couldn't get them off the field on third. What did I say in the video? Did y'all watch the video? I said the Philadelphia Eagles treat it as if fourth down is third down. It's not 3 and out with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's all 4 downs. You got to be prepared to go out there and stop them on a 4th and 3. And for some reason, and I believe I'm a fine believer that tush push is all in the center. It's all in the center. It's a wedge. It's just a compacted wedge that really can't be stopped unless it stops itself, like a fumble or something. But it's a wedge that the center is getting the lowest. And then it's causing us, the center's at our lower, at our midsection, and we're trying to reach over the line to stop Jalen Hurts, and it's not going to happen. But there was times in that game where I was like, okay, they're going to do the tush push, but you can run out of the tush push too. It doesn't have to be Dak Prescott putting himself in the line of fire, because I truly believe that tush push, every time that Jalen Hurts does it, it hurts him, kind of like a superhero. But yeah, the defense couldn't get him off the field, and they ate up the third quarter. I mean, we kind of balanced out at the end of the game with the time of possession, but third quarter was all Philly. 14 unanswered points. We put ourselves in an unnecessary hole. And it kind of all started, and I ain't throwing no shade, no shots fired from this way, but Brandon Aubrey, when you kick the ball out of bounds, they got great field position. We got to be better as a whole team. Got to be better. All right, Jason Latham. To be fair, Philly's D-line is possibly the best. You ain't ever lying. You are not lying. Philadelphia's, I said it in the video, Philadelphia's front four are some dogs. They are beasts. For real. And you got to have a stout offensive line to even compete with them. And there were some points in the game where our line held up, but for the most part, they were in Dak's face a lot. Dak scrambled out a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I got angry, but I didn't make a video about it, because people oversaturated YouTube with them. I got angry at the fact that Jerry Jones didn't make any moves during the trade deadline, because we could have definitely used offensive line help. Terrence Steele is not his same self from previous. Tyron Smith we can't count on him. Like, we needed offensive line help. I know people were harping about cornerbacks and linebackers and stuff like that. I'm like, what about the offensive line? Because Tyron Smith is a ticking time bomb. You don't know when he's going to be in the game and when he's not. So their D-line whooped ours. And yes, they could be the best D-line in the league. Cowboys schedule isn't that easy. Yeah, we went over the schedule. But yeah, their ending schedule for the rest of the season after the Eagles game, the next three they're okay. I think we're going to have more of an issue with the Washington Commanders. But Giants, Panthers, then the Commanders. So we should go into that game with a 2-game winning streak, meeting the Commanders. It's going to be a rough one. I can tell now. It's going to be a rough one with the Commanders, because the Commanders always play the Cowboys tough. They always play NFC East teams tough. So we're going to pull that one out. The Seahawks, I don't know, because, their advantage obviously is their arena as well, their stadium. The 12th man. They're coming to Jerry's World, so they ain't going to have that 12th man helping them. Jerry's World, Cowboy Nation is going to be rocking the house there, so they're going to have the issue. So we should be able to pull that one out. But then the Eagles come to town, and then we got to go. Oh no, we got to go to cold Buffalo in the dead middle of winter, December 17th. Texans, Dallas Cowboys going to Buffalo. Dress warm, because it's going to be cold. And I mean, we fare well in cold environments, but then we see the Miami Dolphins. Are we going to be able to stop Tyreek Hill? I mean, I said it earlier in the live. We did a great job against A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I know Deron Bland let a touchdown slip with Devontae, but you could also see the push-offs and stuff as well from Devontae. Like, man, if you're going to allow these guys to be handsy, allow these guys to be handsy all around. Don't allow Philly to be handsy, and when Dallas tries to do it, you're going to call, a penalty on us. Don't do that. That's wrong. Anyway, all right. It's free your mind. Freedom indeed. All right. Nisi. He needs to be benched immediately. All right. JB the Cowboys fan. I just want to know, when is Micah going to play like LT? Like they say he is. He has been. Didn't he? Yeah, he got 1.5 sacks tonight. I think that's the thing that we have to realize is, like, we're not going to. Micah's not going to get 4 and 5 sacks a night. He's not even. He may not even get 3. But it's the way that he can be disruptive. It's the way that people have to account for him. Like, if you have 2 linemen in a 5-man set, if you have 2 linemen on Micah Parsons, and let's say he's not the end, he's an actual linebacker. You got 2 people. Now you got your 4 linemen on 3 of their linemen. Like, accounting for Micah Parsons, he's a special player. Like, that's why whenever I saw the overrated things, I'm like, how? That takes 2 people. And then if he gets past those 2 people, it takes a running back to chip him or a tight end to chip him. People are paying attention to Micah Parsons, freeing up the other linemen to get home, the D-Laws, But okay, Agron, the PI they called on Gilmore was atrocious. You ain't lying. That's the one I was talking about, because I can't remember which receiver it was. Was it Michael Gallup? Their cornerback had him by the arm, and I'm like, "Where's the PI? Where's the PI?" And then a series later, they call that on Gilmore. I'm like, at that point, I was like, I see what it is. I see what it is. And it's gonna take everything in me to not blame the refs. I was like, I can't, because then you feed into the narrative, the Dallas Cowboy fans only blame the refs. They only want to blame the refs, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I don't want to blame the refs, but when you make it obvious and you throw it in my face like this, I have no choice but to. Like, it's a damn... I'm trying not to swear. It's a shame. It's a darn shame. Oh, man. Free your mind. Brad, I feel Ferguson and Pollard getting the ball more ways. Yeah. I mean, there's passes out of the backfield that you can get Pollard. There's sweep plays where you can have your fullback in motion, already in motion, ready to throw the first block for Pollard. Running him up the A gap. Why? I know you want to tenderize the defensive line, but Pollard's not the dude to do it with. Like, put Rico Dowdle in there on first down. Let him just, boom, hit the line up. Let him know, yeah, we here. And then let Tony Pollard do his thing. So they do need to get them involved more. We have special weapons, ladies and gentlemen, as if you guys don't know. You guys know, Cowboy Nation, we have weapons. Brendan Cooks. You get him the jet sweep. Bam. We just need to dig in our bag more. Scheme-wise, we need to dig in our bag more. You're messing with a team that, and I know, did Nick Sirianni come up with it? He may have. But you messing with a team that ran the Philly special in the Super Bowl, that ran a flea flicker that got tossed to their quarterback in the Super Bowl. They're not afraid to dig in their bag. Are we afraid to dig in our bag? Like, we trying this stuff at the goal line. We can't get into the goal line because we coming so vanilla that people stop us. And also, like, when it's 4th and 15 or 4th and goal on the 9-yard line, don't run to the 3 and run it out. Like, run to the goal line. Box the defender out. Like, run to the first down marker. Make sure that you are past the first down marker. And if there was one where CeeDee Lamb had caught it, and instead of continuing up the middle of the field, he tried to do a quick juke and he got tackled. Like, no, we need a first down. Just keep running straight. And just keep running straight. I mean, I know what you're capable of. CeeDee Lamb, shoot, boy. You know, that question, you put the ball in CeeDee's hands, it's a wrap. You know, you put the ball in CeeDee's hands and it's one-on-one with a defender, and if you beat that defender, he's gone. Oh, he beats him 7-8 times out of 10. But boom, let's go to the next one. Boom, the pass on Gilmore, free your mind. J. Lou can't cover and is a liability. Jordan Lewis, like I said, there's gonna be a question that comes up this offseason. Book it. Let everybody know, let Cowboy Nation know that you heard it from the Angry Cowboys fan channel first. There is going to be an issue at the cornerback position, and it's going to involve Jordan Lewis and Stephon Gilmore. We're going to be asked the question because Trayvon Diggs is going to come back from injury, and he's going to claim his spot back. Okay. DaRon Bland has been playing lights out, except for the touchdown tonight. He's been playing lights out. Do we move him back to the slot? Or do we let go of Gilmore, put Bland on the other side, and keep Jordan Lewis as the slot? Or do we let Jordan Lewis go, keep Gilly Rock on the side with Trayvon Diggs, and put Bland back in the slot? To me, ladies and gentlemen, that's a no-brainer. If you don't get rid of Jordan Lewis, and then there's something wrong with you. I know Gilly Rock. I know his age is a factor. He probably has 3 more years left. But in that 3 years, we can draft a cornerback. May not be another Trayvon Diggs, but hey, we can draft somebody similar. So give the new contract to Gilly Rock. Let Jordan Lewis go. That man, like you said, is a liability. He needs to go now. Gilmore got to stay. See? Jason Latham, he know. Oh, shoot. Just got one, and it made me lose my place. Diggs was missed a lot, especially today. Free your mind. Diggs has definitely been missed. But DaRon Bland has done such a great job in filling that void since he's been gone. Like, we can't ask for anything more. That's like when Dak went down and Cooper Rush came in and won 4 out of 5 games. It's like, wow. You exceeded expectation. DaRon Bland has exceeded expectation for the year, and they would be dumb to not go with Gilmore, Diggs, and Bland as their corners. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I would trade Jordan Lewis for an offensive line talent and just, like, thank you for your services, Mr. Lewis, but you're no longer needed here in Cowboy Nation. All right. Aegon Pollard will not get his big payday in Dallas. One trick ponies never do. Oh, man. Tony Pollard is a one trick pony. Oh, man. Is he a one trick pony or is he just being used wrong? You know, like having him in a role where he shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the A gap and B gap is not him. Tony Pollard used to be a receiver. When you see that it's man defense and you have a linebacker that's on Tony Pollard, motion him wide. Because I'm pretty sure Tony Pollard can beat a linebacker in a foot race. He used to be a receiver. Throw him the ball. Getting him the ball. I mean, I know running backs like their yards and everything, but if the running game ain't clicking, get him the ball in space. Get him the ball on. They tried to get him the ball on the screen tonight, and that got blown up. But anyhow, right for your mind, our O-line ain't the same for Pollard to succeed. I have to say it again. The battle starts and is won in the trenches. Our O-line has to be 10 toes down. We have to come to play. 60 minutes, all-out war, no giving up. And our O-line on the right side kind of dissipated. I can't hear anything driving home from the game, but our offense really let us down on the last drive. We should have won that game. Don't you know? If we would have won that game, I wouldn't have rubbed it in. I would have not rubbed it in on Facebook or anything like that, just because I hate when it's done to me. You know, I hate when fans get on there like, it hurts, don't it? You know, yes, it hurts. My team should have won this game. The better quarterback, like was in the chat, the better quarterback lost. The better quarterback lost. Just like that video that I did about Bart Scott. God, it's all coming to pass. Jeez, ladies and gentlemen, you see what you're bringing out. Oh man, all right. Yo, Jared, salute, baby, salute. Dak was a beast today, bro. Oh man, no question. I'm glad I was wearing this jersey. You know, y'all know I had him right here, the Funko Pop. He was right here watching the game with me. Man, I'm superstitious. For real. I'm superstitious when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. I gotta be wearing a Cowboys jersey, my Cowboys Crocs, and have Dak Prescott right there. And another funny thing that I do is I'm a Madden player, so I'll go in the week prior and play the opponent that we're supposed to be playing. I scraped him in Madden. We couldn't scrape him in real life. But I should monetize. Yeah, I'm actually in the process. Thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen, I am in the process of monetization. And I am super happy, excited, proud, thankful, grateful, humble. Man, see, I ain't even script that. I'm all those things, though. I truly am. And it couldn't have came without you guys. Like, I ain't jumping, obviously. I'm in a different stratosphere when it comes to, like, Law Nation and people like that. But man, I'm at the beginning, and you guys are at the beginning with me. There's some of you guys that was actually like, yo, you're at 1,100 subscribers now. I was here when you were at 23. And that's super humbling. That just means that you are down for the long haul. That y'all know that I'm a work in progress, that this channel is a work in progress, and we're going to evolve and create together. Right now, I'm looking into getting, the phone line so people can call in and actually holler at your boy in real time and not just in the chat. trying to look at doing a lot of different things. I know right now, my homeboy, John over at One Carolina, he's a Carolina Panthers fan, has Carolina YouTube content. And the week that we play, we're going to do a live together. Cowboys versus Panthers, baby. The team, the America's team versus my home team. And no, I don't have two teams. It's Dallas Cowboys for life. Carolina can go somewhere. Any other team can go somewhere. Anyway. All right, Jason Latham. Ryan Clark gave the best take on Dak in a while about him having... Yes. Ryan Clark had me wanting to run through a wall for Dak. He did. Because it's like, y'all just don't realize what this man goes through. Like, not even just being the Dallas Cowboy quarterback, but what he's gone through as a person that has made him a man. The burdens that he's had to bear while putting on that star and that helmet every single week. People are ungrateful, and I hate to use that word, but it's true. It's so ungrateful. This man has gone out almost 400 yards passing. No, we didn't get the dub, but it ain't, you'll never make it with Dak Prescott. Yes, we can. If our defense can step up, we can make it. I'm sorry, 25 points in the NFL can win games. Like, some people don't even make 10 points. It's just the fact that our defense has to stand up. We have been able to march back and forth and up and down the field. We haven't capitalized in the red zone like we want to. That's something that the offense definitely needs to work on. But our defense can't be as spotty as it's been, and lack of a better term. I'm sorry if I have any females in the audience. But it's not showing up every single week. One week you get dominant Dallas D. You get scooping scores, pick six, block punch, block field goals. And then other times you get people just running all over us. We can't stop a nosebleed, blown coverages. It's like, what's going on from week to week where there's a lack of communication between the defense that we keep blowing coverages? That this man is wide open. Discipline. What about the discipline? And I mean the offensive side of the ball this time. Y'all got to learn discipline. I understand that it's a harsh environment when you go on a road game and you barely can hear, but that's what the head coach is for. Y'all got to work on silent count, being on the same page. Hell, look over at the ball. That's what I used to do when I played semi-pro. I looked over at the ball, and when they hiked, I go. But I knew the count, but I just to make sure, look at it through my peripheral, go. Why are there all these false starts? That's a question that my brothers always ask. Why is there false starts? They know what the count is. But anyway, let's see. It was a mistake. We need more power back. Yeah, we definitely do. Boom. Free your mindset. I feel that we're just getting into the groove as an identity. Too many mistakes and the boys win. Like, we are getting in a groove. Like, that groove, it really started with the Los Angeles Chargers. We started getting into our groove with LA. We're getting there, and then right here we faced a real tough opponent. And I am not a Philly fan that can't accept the fact, like, Philly is a tough opponent, Philly fans do that. They won't accept the fact that the Cowboys are a tough opponent. So they'll down us like, man, y'all ain't nothing. I can recognize as a Cowboys fan and a lover of football that you got a squad. You got a team. It's going to be hard to go into your town, to go into your backyard and beat you. Hell, we might not even beat you. But we definitely going to take something away from that game to when we meet again, it's going to be a different story. You know, but all right, Jared, it was a mistake. We need a power back. Yeah, we do need a power back. We need a power back, and Derrick Henry was the answer for a lot of people, you know, with the trade deadline. And I feel, and I hate to put Rico Dowdle out there, but he can be the battering ram. He can be the person that just, boom, gets those 2 or 3 yards. He can be that. Our offensive line has to be that. Our offensive line has to create at least a gap. You know, they're not even doing that. But like it was stated earlier, Philly has a dope defensive front. So it's going to be hard to do that against them. But, all right, let's see. Dak did that against Seattle in the playoffs in 2018, and it worked back. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when he went head over feet in that Seattle's game. But he had youth on his side back then. You know, he's 30 years old, right? 30, 31. I believe he's 30. But he's 30 years old, and you can't take those hits like that now. So I much prefer him, like, lower that shoulder and try to run somebody over. Who knows? You know, they may slip the tackle, but if you have left your feet, you're at the mercy of whoever's coming to hit you. So, yeah, I kind of had my fingers crossed on that one. But they're still going to hate, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right, Jared. You're right. Clock management was horrible once again. Mojo was happening, man. Yeah, clock management. Yeah. But the thing is that at the beginning of the fourth quarter, we were in scoring position. We had time. We were down, what was it? We had to have 2 touchdowns to actually, you know, win the game. We was right there to score. If we would have scored, bam, that's 7 off. And then we had another chance to score. We had this game. I mean, I had Philly fans saying that practically gave you the game and you still couldn't win. Like, it's crazy. All right, refs didn't help either. Nah, they didn't. I always figure on either a split with Philly or us sweeping them. We ain't gonna get swept. That's one thing. We will not get swept. They're not coming in to Jerry's World. They're not coming to Dallas Fort Worth and beating the Cowboys. That I'll put a stamp on right now. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. They're not coming down to Dallas and beating them. And if they do, WTF. I would say it, but let's see. Dak could only do so much when Terrence Steele has played like all game. For a while, I was thinking Jordan Lewis was the liability. He was. Jordan Lewis was, and Terrence Steele was. They both were liabilities. They both were. They can't be. Neither one of them can be off the hook. Michael Gallup, you cannot be off the hook. Like, yeah, he started catching balls. He caught some crucial balls, caught some first downs. But the ones where you open, dog, and you can get some you can get some yards after the catch, you got to catch those. When your defender is trailing you by 2 yards, you have to catch that. He was on the run. It wasn't like he stopped and Dak threw it at him and he had footsteps behind him, so he got a little scared and dropped it. No, you were on the run. See, I'm getting back on Gallup. Yeah, but there was more than one weak link in this loss this week. All right, free your mind. Philly the best team, and we had them. They better respect. Oh, they're going to respect. They're going to respect. And if they continue to use that tush push, they continue to put Jalen Hurts out in the open like that, he's going to get hurt. And like I said before, I don't wish that on any player, but you are putting that man in the line of fire. Y'all think he's built for all these hits, and he's not. Like, no quarterback is. No quarterback should be built for those hits. Like, use them sparingly, but what they do, they're overusing him, and it's gonna be a disadvantage at some point. I pray to God it's not severe, but I see them keeping him back in the pocket a little bit more, and I'm kind of glad for that. You know, only scramble when you have to, and that's what Dak is doing. But when you put yourself in harm's way, like Dak did, I can't rock with it. Like, damn, quarterbacks, chill out. But let's see. Micah got held a lot. Yeah, got held a lot. Had to complain about it, and hopefully on The Edge, his podcast, he lets his feelings be known about it. Like, that's not cool when y'all can sit there and call a holding on the defense when we do it, but when we visibly are held by our collars, you don't say nothing. When we are going for a tackle and we're twisted around because we're held on to, you see it and don't blow a whistle. That is an issue. That's an issue. All right, let's see. I expect Parsons to be the generational talent they say he is. Oh, I think we all expect him to be the generational talent. I think we all expect that. And one thing he has to do as a player is figure out how to be that when they're game planning to take him out of the game. Like, when their offensive strategy on the line is to eliminate the threat of Micah Parsons, he has to figure out how to be a threat again. And I believe he helps the defensive line. I believe he helps the defensive line eat as well. You know, I said that earlier in the video. But free your mind. Parsons is a fraud. Parsons a fraud. Is fan talk. Ain't saying nothing. Just can talk. Ugh. Damn. All right, the Cowboy fan. LT never got taken out. Ooh. No, he didn't. Micah, figure it out, man. Figure it out. Could LVE help this game? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. How would LVE match up with, like, Dallas Goedert? Because Dallas Goedert was eaten in this game. The tight end was eaten. You know, how is LVE going to be, you know, with the run after his injury? You know, how's that going to happen? We really don't know. But LVE, get back. Hey, we've been on here for an hour and 38 minutes. Boy, we're doing good. Appreciate you, Cowboys Nation. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm getting new to this and trying to get it down so that we can do this more often, do it after every game because, like I said, one of the subscribers was like, yo, you need to do a live reaction. I got to get out of my bag before I do a live reaction. And so I'm going to work on getting these live reactions to you guys quicker. And I'll keep it real with you. What I do is I go to different Cowboy content creators and I show them love in their comment sections and stuff during their live broadcasts of the game, just because, you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to start this. You know, I wouldn't have been able to have inspiration to start this. So I still show love in the comment sections over there. So that's why I really don't do a play-by-play. But hey, it may be something that we do in the future. But let's see. The only thing I know is that D-Law always makes me mad because of over pursuing Pretty Swing and miss everything. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I said in my last video is like they have to keep their eyes not so big to where they're over pursuing and Jalen Hurts is just able to whoop right out of the pocket. That was one thing that I feared. And Jalen Hurts did it a few times. It's like, dang it, guys, see? But then but then I'm like, do we need to put a spy on him? And like I said before, I really didn't think it was necessary if people just are alert and they're flying to the ball. I mean, I guess that's just attributed to our defense and how locked in they were in. You know, they weren't truly locked in. I mean, I even heard people saying that Hooker was slow. Like, man, we got to be locked in, flying from sideline to sideline. But anyway, 6 games versus the Eagles, 2 sacks. Oh, spitting the facts, man, spitting the real. Ain't nothing we can say about that. Like, right now, and I don't hate to say it because I'm an NFL lover. I love the NFL. Philly has a good team. I mean, no matter how people want to look at it or don't want to look at it, Philly has a good team. And it is a mountain that we got to climb and a mountain that we got to conquer. Everybody in life has that mountain that they got to climb and that they have to conquer. This is no different. Philly is really good. We have an issue with punching it in when it needs to be punched in. And that's something that we have to work on. We got to train, we got to condition. We have to, like, not we, you know what I'm saying, but the Dallas Cowboys. Let's not get it twisted. The Dallas Cowboys, they got to do what they have to do in order to put themselves in a position to beat the bully, to beat the big person. You know, we're at the end of the video game and it's the boss. You got to beat him, and we got to figure out how. But boom, Parsons don't step up versus good teams. Where was he versus the 49ers? Hindsight, baby. Hindsight, JB. Like, yeah, we kind of lost him in the 49ers game. We kind of lost him in the Chargers game until we found him with a sack. You know, so he does deliver. I mean, did people prop him up a lot? Like, he's earned the reputation he has, you know, but I think that he needs to continue the intensity and figure out, I've said it 50 times, but figure out how to be impactful without being impactful. As far as Parsons getting held, everyone playing the line gets held to a degree, but I'm surprised 1 or 2 were so obvious. Come on. Yeah. People on the line, I mean, playing before you get blocked here, or here, and here. Don't get blocked here. And that's where Parsons is getting held here. Like, that's not a normal hold. A normal hold is down here or underneath the plate of the shoulder pad. Parsons is getting it up by the neck. Parsons is getting it over here at the sleeve. Like, hello? It's blatant. Like, but like I said, if you need to look at the ref for calls, then you're not in a position to win. You know, in a perfect world, a good team will even take the refs on a ride. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to play too? All right, we're going to beat y'all too. That's where the Dallas Cowboys need to get. Like, okay, the refs are against us. Line them up. We need to beat them too. Bam, plain and simple. Leave no stone unturned. Leave nothing for anyone to talk about. Right. JB the Cowboy, Myles Garrett, Myles Garrett gets triple teamed. Held. He still dominates games. Being held is an excuse. Yeah. Yeah, it's an excuse. It is. It's an excuse, but sometimes it is a valid one. Because I'm pretty sure Myles Garrett does get held too, and he may complain, but he doesn't have the platform that Micah Parsons has to be heard about it. Yes, he plays for the oh my God, he plays for the Cleveland Browns. I'm about to say the Indians. He plays for the Cleveland Browns and everything. He's an NFL player, but he's not to the magnitude. They don't talk about him. They don't discuss him like they do Micah Parsons. So he's not going to get that burn in the media like, oh man, he's getting held, because they don't talk about him. Unless he gets a podcast and starts talking himself. But I don't condone that. Myles Garrett, don't do that. But, all right. The game showed we have the formula to beat. Yes, Jared, yes. This game has showed us that we have the formula to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. We are not going to sweep them. And if we split, that's great. We can't get swept. But we have the formula. We know how to shut down A.J. Brown now. We know their tendencies. We know what they're going to call. And we can say, oh, yeah, we've been known that because we're NFC East rivals. But no, we've played a game against each other now. Now we have actual recent film to look at and to study and to assess and to change our offensive and defensive schemes too. Hey, I think this was a pretty, I hate to say this is a loss that we can definitely learn from. All right, let's see. We're going to answer a couple more. Then I've been on for almost 2 hours, and I don't want to keep I want to keep you guys away from your family and friends as long as I have. So let's answer a couple more. And you got to call out Dan Quinn. He's not putting Parsons in position to make plays. Find the weak link on the opposing team and line up your playmaker against them. See, if they take Micah, and I said this in the video, don't put him exclusively at like the defensive end. Let him roam. He's the lion. He needs to roam. Let him roam and find that weak link. Find that weak person. You're it. And attack them. Attack them. Don't line up with their best player because you're going to get taken out of the game. And I think that's where his frustration goes, and he starts shut down because he gets taken out of games. No, pick the weak link. Pick the rookie. The rookie trying to prove himself, yes, but the rookie's destined to make more mistakes than the veteran. Unless the veteran's on the downhill slide. But anyhow. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I remember Dallas playing Philly when McNabb was there, and they beat him easily during the regular season in 2 games. Playoff times, they got handled. Philly can have regular season awards. Yeah, you're right. I mean, do I want to get swept by Philly in the regular season? No, I don't. But at the same time, it's like, it matters now, but it matters more at the end of the season. It matters more in the playoffs. Because let's say we have this tape that we can watch now. We going into the playoffs now, we have 2 tapes. One where they beat us, one where we beat them. Let's mash those together and come up with the ultimate plan to send Philadelphia Eagles home packing in the playoffs. Which headline would you like to read? What would you like to hear from the talking heads? We won the regular season game in week 9, or we beat them in the divisional or NFC championship? I like the latter. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and end it here because, like I said, I've kept you guys for a long time. But thank you. I truly appreciate you guys coming. I'm going to be working on some more videos. I was actually going to do the reaction video, but hey, we did it here. But if there's things that you want to see me do, because I asked that question in the community tab. I said, am I not doing enough? Am I doing too much? Or, should I not hit y'all with as much content? Or is it fine? Or is it not enough? And the answers were kind of, they were kind of fascinating. Some said I wasn't doing enough. I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to release a video almost every day. But anyhow, if y'all got some ideas and everything y'all want to hear about in the comment section, I will definitely make videos on that and put them out. Stat field, do my due diligence, do my homework and research. But this has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan. And Cowboys, let's take this loss, soak it in, learn from it, move on to the next one. Yes, it's the New York Giants, but we cannot look past them because they're NFC East rivals and we usually get played good. Most of the times we blow them out, but right now let's not count our chickens before they hatch. All right, if you like this content, I highly suggest that you press the subscribe button. Trying to get to 2,000, trying to get all the perks that come with the monetization of YouTube, and only you can help me do that. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button so you can join me on this journey of being angry Cowboy fans. With that being said, I'm your boy, and I'm out.